Hello everyone, I wanted to do a new series, a new walkthrough for Guild Wars 2 expansion pack. So previously I tried to do a Let's Play series, but I got cut short halfway through because of various different issues with my computer at the time. And also they've actually changed the new player experience quite a lot, so rather than try and pick up from the previous series, it just seemed like a good idea to start with the expansion pack and have a look playing through the new profession. So once I've gone through the initial levels, we'll go out into the jungle of Heart of Thorns and see what that new content brings. But for the time being, what I'm going to do is just create a new character, Revenant, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm going to start off by creating a human female, because why not? So Revenant's quite different to all of the other professions that are available. Wears heavy armour, but actually gets its power from the mist, so it actually invokes legends from the previous game, Guild Wars 1. And you can have various different legends assigned that have got different skill sets that you can swap in. We won't see any of that until we've got through the initial leveling, the first 10 or so levels. And I'm just going to quickly go through character creation and just, create a bit of a random character here. I'm not really interested in the face details and all of this, I just want to get going into the game. You can always change this at a later stage via the gem store. So, starting to set the background for our character, and we've got this little bit of text that will change according to which type of veil we choose. So I fight with my either Mist Scrim, Veil Piercer or Resplendent Curtain as blindfold, on to shut out the distractions of the physical world and focus on the magical inner sight. So I'm just going to go for that one. Trouble may follow me, but I always use my Charm, Dignity or Ferocity to overcome it. I'll go for Dignity. So this next selection will change how our personal story first starts out. So we can select I was raised in the streets, by common folk, or among nobility. I'm going to go for in the streets. This is another option that allows you to change how your character or how your story progresses. So one of my biggest regrets is that I never searched for my true parents, never recovered my sister's body, passed up on an opportunity to perform in the circus, and we'll go for that one. So this doesn't really have that much of an effect throughout the game. Everyone said I was blessed by either Duena, Grenf, Balthazar, Melandru, Lissa or Cormier, and they're just the human gods that don't really have that much of an effect. I'm going to go for Grenf. It's only relevant to humans. The other races would have different choices. So I'm just going to enter a name for this character. Call it Underworld Revenant. So, as with any new character, it's going to take you through the introduction, this little cutscene that we have, and then it will drop us into an instance where we're given a weapon and we have to undertake a task based on what race you start as.
Now,
so as we're human, we'll be in Divinity's Reach. And near there.
We've been defeated, driven back, and broken. But we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Kryta still stands. Our faith is strong, despite the silence of the six gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in Divinity's Reach. The city is my home. I grew up on the streets. Although I have friends, my life has always been hard. I've faced the worst this city could throw at me, and I sent it home bleeding. I'm done living hand to mouth. There's a war on our doorstep, and I refuse to be buried by it. Today, I stepped outside Divinity's Reach, hoping to find better luck outside the city. Problem is, when I arrived in Shaymor, the village was under attack by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. I can take care of myself, but that's not enough anymore. Someone has to help those who can't. This is my story.
Okay, so now that the cutscene's finished, it's going to take us straight into, one of the only instances really throughout the game. This is just to get you used to playing, so navigating around using your WASD keys, obviously moving around. If you hold down your right mouse button, you can use A and D to strafe. Okay, so playing as a Revenant, the first weapon that we're given is a mace, and we can see that we've got, well, if you look at this by hovering over the skill, you can see that it's a free attack chain. So the first attack is, first hit will be just a misery swipe, then you've got anguish swipe, and then finally manifest toxin, and then it will just cycle through again. So we haven't unlocked any other skills yet. These will be unlocked as we hit different levels. This is actually quite different to how it was initially. Previously in the game, you'd unlock skills based on how much experience you've gained or how many kills you've made. So you'll notice that the skills at the bottom here are kind of split up a little bit. We've got main hand weapons, which are the first three, and then your offhand weapon, which is the last two. But if you've got a dual, like a dual-handed weapon, that will actually be all attributed to that one weapon that you've got selected. We've got a heal skill as skill 6, and then the rest of them on the final three are all utility skills that will unlock at various different levels. The one on the end is the elite, and that will unlock at level 31. But what's different with the Revenant compared to all of the other professions is that the utility skills are tied to the legend, so you don't really have much control over selecting utility skills. It's all based on what you're channeling at the time. This will make a lot more sense once we get to sort of skills 11, 15 and 19. So I'm just heading over to this garrison here where we can really start the initial mission for this. So whilst ever those gates are open on the right hand side there, we've just missed it in fact actually, we'll have to wait for a few moments. If you're in a rush and you still want to go ahead with it, you can actually just run around the outside of it. But just so that you get to see the whole thing, I'm going to wait until this bit's finished, and then we'll go in with the next wave of people that are waiting here. So each profession can have different weapon types, main hand, off hand, and also a double-handed one, as I mentioned before. So as we go around killing monsters, the chances are we'll be able to pick something up that we can replace the mace with, like a sword, shield for an offhand later on in the game. When we get to specializations, staff as a dual-handed weapon, and a hammer, which is quite a good one as well.
This does it.
So I don't want to create loads of videos that are showing the whole leveling process. Now the personal story that we'll unlock a little bit later on applies every 10 levels, so every time you go up a 10 level pit stack, you unlock the next step of the personal story. So we'll do one video that covers a little bit of leveling, and then we'll go on to the next one once I get to level 10 and I can actually start running through the personal story. They'll probably keep them these videos a little bit shorter and more interesting. So this instance that we're in at the moment is sort of on like a never-ending cycle. So what's beyond those gates there, as you'll see when we get through, will reset after we've done, literally what's lying behind it. And all of these other people that you see here are all literally just going through their starting instance. When we finish this next part, they'll all end up in the same place that we will. And as you can see, the gates have now opened up, so we can go straight through there and start the next part, defending the garrison. And in the centre here we've got a character called Logan Thackeray, who's one of the main characters, I suppose, throughout the story. Not so much in the expansion pack though, although he is in it.
There's another wave coming.
Okay, so now we've got the champion coming down towards us here. We've got a few hits on him and then he's going to run off, which is going to trigger the boss for this instance. Didn't take long.
It's huge.
Okay, so because there's quite a few people here doing this starting instance, this earth elemental is going to go down really quick, but if there's only one of you doing it, it can take a little while to knock it down. I like to stand in the middle because you can hit both hands at the same time. Okay, so now that we've down the earth elemental, we're going to have another cutscene in a moment's time, and then we're going to be actually into the open world.
Where am I? What happened?
You were injured when the elemental exploded. Captain Thackeray brought you here personally. You've been unconscious for 3 days. You had lots of visitors. Villagers you rescued, some seraph, and a nervous, shady-looking character who came by every day, but wouldn't give his name.
That'd be my friend Quinn. You might want to check your supply cabinets. I'll find out what he wanted once I'm fully recovered. What should I do now?
Fresh air and exercise are the best medicine. The goddess Duena helped you. Perhaps you could help others?
Thanks, I will. And thanks for taking such good care of me.
Bless you. You'll find plenty to do out in the valley. May Duena protect you.
So, as a reward for completing that instance, we've been given a mace, some coins, and a chunk of experience. So when we accept that, as you can see, that's actually taken us to our next level, and we've unlocked a new skill, so we've now got Searing Fisher. The other thing that you also get on the right hand side there is a little level up reward, and sometimes this will give you an item or a couple of items, but on this occasion it's just giving us extra information as a new player. So how we can access our hero panel, and from here you can do things like adjust your builds through the build tool that we've got just there, unlock new skins as you gain points and so on. But you can also access your equipment, so this is where you could apply any new weapons that you've got, any accessories and so on. Wardrobe, where you can change your skins, dyes, outfits, miniatures, all sorts of other stuff on there that you can have a look through at some point. The other thing that it's also telling you is because you've gone up a level, you've also unlocked some additional stats, or been given some extra stats, and we've also got our second weapon skill. Okay, so upcoming rewards on the next time we level up, we'll get fine equipment, personal story unlocked, 5 hero points, and crafting. And the hero points can be used to unlock additional skills and so on that we'll need. So, if I just press the M button to show you the map, as you can see, there's a big area to explore on here. So we started off as a human, so this is our area just there near Divinity's Reach, which is their main city. Down on the bottom left-hand side here, we've got the Tarnished Coast, where you'll find the Azora, and also just up from there, we've got where the Sylvari can be found. Go from. Top right-hand side, just here, we've got Ascalon, and down there where you've got the Black Citadel, that's where the Char are at, and then we've got the Norn in the middle, just here in the Shiver Peak Mountains. Now, it is possible to get to any of their main cities via an Azora Gate. So for us, the closest one would be in Divinity's Reach, which would take us to Lion's Arch just here. And then we can teleport from Lion's Arch to any of those other starting cities that I just mentioned. For the time being, though, we're going to stay in this section just here, in Queensdale. So, I'm not going to go through leveling like crazy with this. You know, this is, if it's something that you want to play along with, you know, take your time with it. I'm going to try and level up as quick as possible on here. But I'm only going to show you that I'm just going to concentrate on the story steps for this. So the personal story doesn't unlock until you hit level 10. So what we're going to do now is just try and find some activities that will allow us to gain some experience. There's loads of things you can do to gain experience. Unlocking the map gives you a sizable chunk. You know, as you go to a waypoint, to an information point like this one just here on the map that I've actually just walked past, and also unclouding different areas of the map. So you can see here that this main section is unlocked, but anywhere that's blurred out will get experience for hitting that. Now the other thing that you're also going to see on here in a minute are Renown Hearts. So Renown Hearts are effectively Guild Wars' version of quests. It's just tasks that you can do around a particular area. So this farmer just here, we can talk to them and they'll tell us what we need to do. So make it quick, we're running a farm, or running a farm doesn't leave a lot of spare time for chit chat. How can I help? Now that's what I want to hear. You can tend to the corn or keep the cattle occupied, maybe stomp out a few wormholes, and if any bandits try raiding the farm, you can fend them off. Bandits, if a week goes by where these punks don't try and burn my fields, I count myself lucky. I'm also worried about harpies will bust the dam wide open and someday flood me out. This hasn't happened yet though. Now the harpies are actually over there where that dam is, just there, and that's another HoT thing that we can do as well. So for now I'm just going to hit the wormholes, entertain the cows and water those plants over there. We may find that an event will start here, a dynamic event, which will allow us to kill a load of bandits that are trying to burn these hay bales. If it does, we'll get a good chunk of experience from that, but if not, we'll just move on. A lot of these Renown Hearts literally just require you to press the F key. Nothing too taxing during the first few levels. Okay, so you can see the progress bar filling up on the heart at the top right hand side every time you do something. Well, every time you do something to contribute to it. Okay, so nearly done with this. Once you've completed a heart, what also happens is the person who's giving you the information about it, they will also have items that they can sell you for a currency called karma. A lot of the time, the stuff that they sell isn't massively useful, but sometimes they can have things that will help you level up. Various different bits of armour, weapons, maybe some food buffs, or some trinkets. As you can see from completing that heart, I've been given a good chunk of XP. And if we just have a look at what this person's got for sale now, as you can see there's a few items. We've got a trinket that we can use, and we've also got a food buff which will help us with our experience. So as you can see, that'll give us 10% experience from kills, and I always run with boosters whenever I'm leveling a new character because it just makes it so much quicker. I mean, the thing with Guild Wars is it's not about the end game as such, even though the expansion pack helps with that a lot. It's really more about the journey, but I have been playing this since it first came out, so I've leveled quite a few characters on my other account. So I've got an experience boost running, and that should give me double XP, or well, not so much double XP, but 10% more. Now you can also get additional buffs from the gem store that will give you double XP. You can also unlock them as rewards from your daily login if you have actually purchased the game and not using a free-to-play account. I'm just going to get to the next level and then we'll call this video a day. Now, any monster that you see that's got a gold name, that means that it's not something that will attack you unless you attack it. What you do find from there is that they give you more bonus XP than what a standard mob would give. And the longer it's been since these things were last killed, the more XP that you'll get from it. Now, so in the starting areas, you tend to find that you don't get much extra, but whilst you're out further and deeper into the maps, you tend to find that you will get a much better chunk from killing those gold monsters. So there's another heart around here, and also a point of interest that we can get for a little bit of extra XP. So I'll just get this point of interest and help his mower ranch. And then I'm going to search the bushes, recover lost mowers and kill the bandits. Just for the final bit that I need to get me up to level 2. Sometimes you'll find a mower, other times you'll find a bandit, but first few levels, you get good experience from killing all of these, especially when you've got the boost running. You get the odd item drop as well. Most of the time it's probably just junk, but you never know, you might get a decent weapon out of it to help you level. Okay, so we can go into this cave down here where there'll be more things that we can do, more bandits, things that we can pick up, all to help the leveling process. And also finish the heart. So, because we've just unlocked another section of the map, we've been given a little bit of extra XP. And these bandits are like, a good 3 levels higher than me, but you tend to find you don't have any problems taking them down. So we've now got another weapon that we can actually use. So we've unlocked, we've been given a sword, and this is something that we can, if we wanted to swap out the mace now, from our hero panel and equipment, we can literally just right click and choose which weapon we want for our main slot. So I can now pick a sword, and we've got 2 different skills that we can use now. So Preparation Thrust, Brutal Blade, Rift Slash for the primary weapon for our first skill, and then the second one's Precision Strike. I'll show you the difference between this in a minute. So collecting stolen corn is something else that we can do, and then we can give it back to that heart person, and that will all help towards completing this renowned heart. So I'll collect a few more bags of this and then I'll go out and give them to the renowned heart person. So with the experience we get from this heart, this will definitely be enough to take us over to level 2 or level 3. Okay, so we've got our extra level. We've unlocked the HoT. And we've been given a bag. 4-slot bag as a reward. So now this is telling us that it's, we can access fine equipment that you can pick up from drops. Personal story is accessible at level 10. We've got 5 hero points for our next reward, and then we'll be able to go on to crafting at level 12, and crafting is just a way that you can make various different items to use or sell. Now, one final thing that I'm going to just show you before I close this video off is really something that's integral to the combat system in Guild Wars 2, and that's the ability to dodge. So for every starting area you've got this dodge tutorial just here, and it shows you that down at the bottom here we've got an endurance bar. So you can basically do 2 dodges in a row. So that can be used to avoid attacks, and that's the primary thing that you'll use it for. If you dodge an attack, it will not hit you at all. So wherever you've got an AoE field that's been dropped, you can literally just dodge straight through it. But the idea here is you can either double tap a direction key to dodge, or you can press your V key whilst running forwards, backwards, left or right. So I'll show you how to do it. Down at the bottom here you can see that we've got these red rings, and the idea is to dodge through it. So you can just walk forward, press your V key, and that will dodge you through. Got a chest that we can open up with this tutorial. I'm not sure what that's given us, but we'll have a look in a minute. And then we can dodge back out of it again. And as you can see, it showed up that we evaded. So I'm going to call this video a day for the time being, and the next time I come back we'll be at level 10 and we can go through the rest of the personal story steps. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed.